WP, we have magic, psychic powers and more advanced technology than you. How the hell do you keep beating us? To put it simply, your strategies are ridiculously primitive. I mean, even the Romans would consider it outdated. Like, for real. You always warp in at the very edge of the system and then use sublight drives, which are usually kinda slow. We thought it might have been like a bait or a diversion or something for the first, I dunno, 3 battles? But now every time your ships warp in, we just send a few dozen nukes in your direction and that takes care of about 70% of your naval forces. Magic was trickier, to be sure. But your mages have, like, no defenses. Like, at all. I mean, I guess if we have to engage in melee it's intimidating. But nearly every soldier can afford to empty a clip into any shield they manage to bring up. If they even can summon one. Seeing as how our kinetic weapons move faster than sound. And even without having magic. Everyone knows the old adage of gag the mage. Your psychic powers are lame. No. Seriously. The most powerful practical ability your most powerful psychics have in any fight is a handful of seconds worth of precognition. Yeah. You get visions from the more distant future every so often. But the literal only time that ever paid off was when the guy who could get the important visions literally died to make it happen. To be fair, mind reading makes it a bit redeemable. But interrogation and espionage are typically things you do before there's soldiers and bombs and bullets all around you. So, yeah. Kinda blew it there. Oh. That's easy. Use the psychics to predict a few hundred possible futures. Analyze all the data from it to figure out how you operated before ever fighting you. Drop a few dreadnoughts into low orbit points over key installations on your home planet. Glass those areas from orbit with all those fancy lasers. Then have teams of mages teleport to the biggest information hubs left to demand surrender around. 2. Maybe 3 hours later? Long enough for people to really notice that we just melted you from space. But not long enough to start recovering. Yeah. It's ruthless. But it would also end the war in a single move. Well. You couldn't call it a war. Really? Why am I telling you this? Well. Once I started talking I kinda just got on a roll. Then I noticed the team of marines on the vid feeds behind you. Carving through your base. You might want to close your eyes. Romans, yeah. It's one of the, like, maybe 9-10 cultures that most influenced us in general. No. As a race. And I mean, they were really good at war. They conquered a pretty good chunk of terra back in the day. About 3,000 years ago. And, you know, they're pretty smart. We still study their strategies. In fact. But we don't use the same tactics that they used. Technology changes. So does culture. And tactics have to adapt, so we change. But remember what we did before. Try to keep doing what works. And, well, it's hard to put into words. You don't get that? I mean, you can't always have had that tech you used. How did you fight before? Is everything okay? Are you getting this? Is something wrong? Okay. This is freaking me out. What? Why are you giving me that look? Humans conquered each other. You fight against each other. You kill each other. For 3,000 years. Well, yeah. Actually, a lot more. Rome was important. But there's a lot older cultures that were also great at war. There was Persia. And China. And Egypt. And this explained so much. First of all, you have no central communication. The only real communication you had was a single command from your god king to conquer, destroy, enslave Earth. Your soldiers can't even agree on which version of the word your god king meant. And then, your squads. You have mages, psychics, and the augmented. If they were on the same squad and working together, each covering their mate's weaknesses, you would be unbeatable. But because the mages don't want to share their secrets, the psychics say the augmented are so loud they can't concentrate. And the augmented say neither the psychics nor mages are fast enough to keep up. You have groups with glaring weaknesses. Iron or cobalt bullets rip right through the mages' defenses. Mechanical targeting systems are unaffected by the psychic's manipulation. And even a weak emp knocks the augmented down like bowling pins. All that aside, if you had just rushed in once you had scouted out our defenses, your numbers and surprise would have won. But no. You send gradually increasing waves of troops, with enough time between for us to repair our defenses and then some. What was even up with that? I am seriously doubting the sanity of the universe if you are the dominant species.